Did you see the new AI that somebody built on fucking Twitter?
John Peters is simple enough that no one really
cares.
Yeah, no one will bat an eye.
We live in a world full of color. Nothing is black and white. Hey, man, you're the better for it.
You know, everyone's different.
Better for it.
Yeah,
I think I got an earlier start.
Because you're you.
It's true.
And you're the best version of you that I know.
Wow. Sorry, I cried real quick.
It's just the 1 second cry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm done now.
Crying.
You guys see Dream, the Minecraft YouTuber,
Yeah.
had a face reveal?
Yeah.
And he like built it up so much. Like he was FaceTiming celebrities and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And when he did the face reveal, immediately got a shitstorm of haters, which was so inevitable. I mean, unless he was like a god, like, and it was just undeniable that he was like the hottest person alive, people were fantasizing about him like his whole career. So it was just inevitable that he was just gonna get completely shit on.
It's really unprecedented.
Did you see that,
too.
Jake?
Yeah, did you see the thing trending on Twitter because of it?
He's ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag he's ugly.
I think it's unprecedented. I think he looks fine. He's not.
I think it was the hype though.
He's not even.
It was the hype, first of all. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't. Yeah. Also, whatever he looked like, there would have been haters for sure.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think most of the people that are hating are just people that already didn't like him, already established that they didn't like him. I don't even watch him. I don't even know. I know about him. I know like what he makes, but I've never watched a single thing by him. Yeah. But I know like.
No, me neither. I was definitely curious though.
It was a big thing because he's
sure.
8-point-some million subscribers. That's like one of the biggest.
No, he has like
reveals.
30 million.
What?
Yeah, he has like 30 million subscribers on YouTube.
I must have missed that part.
Yeah, no, he's got a crazy fan base.
Yeah, well, that's it's even bigger. Like,
yeah, that's why. Yeah,
that's why it's such a big
deal. Yeah, people that didn't give a fuck were like waiting. He had like 1.5 million viewers, like waiting for him to do the face reel, like during the premiere.
There are people,
which is crazy.
Other people's streams that were streaming it.
Yeah, it had like massive viewing.
I think Ludwig like broke a record or something. Maybe.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, but just waiting just to watch the face reveal.
That's nuts too. It was underwhelming.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck, but I still wanted to know what he looked like.
Yeah, of course.
Because I've heard of him.
Yeah.
So.
Do you like know anything about him though?
Yeah, he plays like the only thing I really know about him is that he plays Minecraft videos.
He like speed runs them and like people like
didn't
call him out for cheating and stuff.
Yeah, didn't he have a cheating scandal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the turnout was. I didn't follow it, but
have you seen all the cheating scandals recently? There's like 5 of them on the internet right now. Like the Try Guys, that's one of them. With do you know about that?
I don't even know what the Try Guys is.
The Try Guys is a YouTube channel. They do like food reviews and stuff. I don't know. I haven't watched their content, but they're really popular and they have a big fan base. And one of the guys, pretty much his whole personality is that he has a wife. Like he talks about his wife. He's like he's the husband like guy, you know? And he got caught cheating with one of their employees, like on a vacation or something. I don't know where it was. I think Atlanta maybe. They were like in a club and someone like took a picture of him like kissing one of their employees and sent it to like the Try Guy, and like it exploded. Like it was a huge scandal. And they kicked him out of the Try Guys and like they fired him from the company. It's like a big company too. And
what do they do?
I think it's just like food reviews and like
they try out stuff.
It's like I think it's like family friendly content, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, they do like
stuff.
eating everything on the menu at this place or something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was just so bad. Like how you just ruined your entire life. Like I'm pretty sure his wife filed for divorce, and it's just embarrassing too, because like his whole thing was, I'm in a great healthy relationship with my wife, and like there was like they had like compilations on their YouTube channel where it's like every time Ned said my wife on Try Guy, it was like a 5-minute video just going my wife and bring up his wife and how much he loves his wife. And they have kids and stuff, so it's honestly pretty bad because at the center of all the drama there's a family, you know, that's affected by it. So people blowing it up, like, I mean, he deserves the hate that he gets, but it's also the like power dynamic, like he's the boss and it was like a employee,
right?
So that made it even worse.
if it is abusing the
Yeah,
power.
actually, didn't even think about that.
Anytime there's like a big popular influencer, like if it's like a YouTuber or like a TV show host or something, and they have drama like that, like cheating is a big deal no matter what, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
That you should be faulted for that. But how do you think you can get away with it when you have that like especially like publicly? Like how are you gonna do that? I don't understand it.
No, it's bold for sure. I think you just get comfortable and you just stop caring. You're like, if I get caught, it's not worth it's worth the risk, I guess. I don't know. You kind of
Fuck those
idealize
people.
it. No, fuck them for sure.
I've always noticed the people that really talk about their relationships and always want to talk about it. Like you mentioned, he always talks about his wife and stuff. Usually don't have like the greatest
They're
relationships.
insecure about it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
exactly. Like you shouldn't have to tell people all the time, like, oh, my girlfriend or my husband or whoever does this and that. It's like, okay. Especially when it's like, it's just unaccounted for. Like it doesn't need to be said. Some of those things like that people bring up, it's like, okay, why are you telling me?
I agree. Yeah, I think the best relationships I've seen, there's no attention drawn to it. Like, it's usually other people pointing out, like, you guys are so good together. I've never seen like a good relationship where like, yeah, my wife is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, well, maybe maybe,
there's definitely some
just-
cases where it's like,
sure.
there's moments where you can talk about like, yeah, my wife's my best friend. Like I love her to
to a
death.
point. Yeah, to a point though. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
though.
but if you're bringing it up like, well, my wife, like,
yeah.
far better than any other woman I've ever met.
Do you think they're like flexing like my wife rather than like girlfriend or fiance or whatever? My wife.
I think it
You think
feels
it's, like,
good
a
to say,
flex at this
probably.
point? Yeah.
It
I mean,
probably does.
maybe not flex.
I don't know.
Some people maybe might
I
brag.
could see it as a flex.
I mean,
Imagine marrying, like, especially like if it is like the girl of your dreams or something, marrying them and saying like,
Yeah.
that's my wife.
No, but
And
like
I do.
our generation now just isn't getting married anymore. Like there are people getting married young and you hear about it all the time. Every time I've talked to women or men that always talk about their husband or wife, right? So they
every time you talk to somebody
who has a husband or wife and they
Okay.
bring up, oh yeah, like my husband or my wife, it's always like one, they're always complaining, at least to me.
Okay.
And when they bring them up, I already know like where it's going. I feel like I already have like this sense of like, oh shit, like I know where this is going.
They want
Especially when
Specifically or like just generally, okay, they're going to be complaining.
more than likely it's always complaining.
Is
in
that
your
what you mean by
experience.
In my experience.
Is that what you mean by like you can tell where it's going? Like they're just complaining or
No, just like I can tell like when somebody's unhappy and I can tell
Sure.
because they always come to me about it. I feel like that's like one of my things.
I've
It's
noticed
just
that.
unhappy.
I think we
people.
all have.
Yeah. Especially like I've noticed like a lot of older women come to me about their husbands and they're like, "Oh, my husband does," and I already know where it's going immediately.
like it's gonna them be.
I know they're going to
complaining.
complain about it. I almost know
Yes.
what they're going to say before they even say it.
Well, yeah. Again, I want to say I'm glad you didn't generalize like all people that bring up their. But you
Right.
have like a specific power where it's like people come to you with their problems.
Too much. I think I'm too
yeah.
open for it or
Yeah.
something. I think it
I don't think it's your fault, man. I think it's genetics. Just the way you look. You look like you want to listen to people's problems. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know.
Maybe not. Like I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, maybe
because we've
people
talked
feel
about
like
this.
they can confide in you. Maybe
We've talked about this for a long time. Like what it
Yeah.
is about you that people just walk up to you.
no, from the beginning. Yeah,
yeah.
it is. It is something else because I feel like we started talking and we hit it off, but maybe that was just your charm, like working on me.
No,
Do you even like us?
no, but
Okay.
Like we're
As
just the
of-
ones that latched on.
especially as of recent, as you guys bring it up more, that I think like the other day when you and I went out on like my mom's boat and stuff, we went to get like that food. I say the other day, that was like 3
the other
months
day.
ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right. But like I had multiple people come up to me, you're like, dude, does this always happen? And you guys have said that like multiple
Yeah.
times. Yes. Like I almost found it.
Multiple. Oh, right. Because
Multiple
we
people.
were. Because we.
We were
yeah.
just waiting for our food and I had like 4 or 5 different people come up to me and talk to me. Yeah, no, it happens all the time. So but I've had more than just like experience, obviously more experiences with other people as well, where they're like, does this happen all the time? I just assumed it was like a natural thing where you just have tons of people come
No.
up to you all the time.
No, I thought it was funny because we were at some dock like restaurant or something, just getting a beer, and this old lady that was just sitting at the bar as he was like waiting for his beer, just starts saying. Everyone says the most nondescript things ever, like it doesn't add to any conversation. It doesn't create a new one. It's just things that are like, huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just the most like NPC like type
Yeah,
conversations.
and it doesn't
ever.
matter what you say. You could be like, all right. And they'll be like, well, let me just tell you my life story.
Exactly.
Dude, I remember one time we were walking down the streets in Pittsburgh and this guy stopped us, specifically you, because he like called out your whole outfit. He was like, yo, 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 stop. And he starts like telling, he's like, I just got to get to this place. Like, I need a little bit of money. Like, and he was like talking your ear off. Dude, I was behind you and it was like I was invisible. He didn't look at me once, dude. I was standing there. I'm like,
You said the story before. Didn't you try to say something too? And he was like, hey, I'm talking to this guy.
no,
Was
That happened at Bamboo.
really?
Remember the guy asked me about my bag, and
Oh.
you're like, oh, well, I have a bag too, and he's like, stop.
He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, do you remember that? We were waiting for the bathroom,
You just don't have
Oh,
that
yeah.
face. You don't have that face.
and you're like, well, I have a like here, I have this, and you pulled out your taser, and the dude thought it was a vape.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, I don't vape
Oh,
or
you should
something.
hit
You're like,
this.
yeah. He's like, I don't vape, and you had a taser like in his face. I don't vape. Just hit it real quick, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is, man. So I guess, yeah, you just have that face. People feel like they can approach you and it doesn't matter. I don't
You're
know.
not the only one either. Like I've seen it in other people too. Like,
Yeah,
a lot
for
of people.
sure.
A lot of people, especially those people that have that type of face, that people tell them everything, will complain to you about it. Like I don't know, like people just walk up to me and say the most like unprompted shit ever. Like I don't even talk to you. Like you're not the only one, but I think yours is a little bit of a unique case because people are like friendly towards you. It's not just like venting. It's like I said, like it's the most NPC type conversation you
Yeah.
could have. Like it doesn't make any sense, and it's always out of nowhere. Like I don't know where you get it.
It's a gift and a curse, I imagine.
I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
What are your best experiences if you call it a gift at all?
Best experiences, I think.
Somebody just gave you $1 million.
Oh, I wish. No, I genuinely just enjoy talking to people. Like I definitely do, but eventually it gets tough when people come to you with like insanely hard life problems.
Right.
Like talking about like, I don't want to say insanely hard, but at the same time, like, no, you know what it is? Like insanely hard for like a human, like divorce, like when people bring up like divorce to you and you're just like, I just think
Right.
I used to be like, I don't know what to say,
Yeah, what are you supposed to say?
but I don't think that's the thing. I think it's,
They just want
they
don't
just
want you to say
no,
anything.
it's just
Yeah.
listening. And they're like, oh,
That's
this
all
guy
it
will
is, yeah.
listen. And I think that's what it, yeah. So
for sure.
I don't, I don't have to say much and people just go and go and go. And I'm like,
Yeah. All you have to do is be like, right. Mm-hmm.
but then it like, eventually I think, I mean, it depends who you are. And for a while, like I just let people do it. It was just like emotional dumping, like all over me. But
That weighs on you.
right. But what I've learned, especially as of recently, I would say like the last 4 to 6 months, is my problems versus like other people's problems. You have to like leave that shit go because it's not yours, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to like, for like my whole life probably, I was trying to like take on other people's problems. But I realized like literally within the last 6 months, I don't have to do that. And it's such like a weight lifted off my chest to say like the least.
Liberating.
Yeah. Yeah, and that doesn't mean like you can't listen to people. That doesn't mean you can't help people.
You can't care. Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
no, you can definitely still care. You just got to be like, that's not my problem. Like,
Yeah.
not to them. Not that's not my problem.
Yeah, obviously, but
You know what I
there's
mean.
only so much you can do.
Right.
Like sometimes listening is the only thing and the best thing you could do.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nobody ever tries to like make you do something for them, do they? Or they literally just vent and that's it. They just want you to listen. Or do people ever try to like ask for your help or?
No, yeah, I've definitely been asked for my help, especially like in the past. But what I've been working on lately, and it seemingly works, is being a little bit more closed off to those types of people, and not in like a bad way. Like that might sound bad,
Mhm.
but I don't mean closed off as in I won't talk to them, but closed off in a helping way, because it would weigh down too much on anybody.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You ever have like really good friends you could just kind of like drifted away from?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
mostly younger, like grade school, but
I think this is something we've all talked about before. Is like I think for the most part, our high school lives, anything from school friends, like I think it's completely natural that we drift apart from those people because I mean you're kind of going into a whole another life. I feel like.
Yeah, of course. I mean, people from high school, they all take different paths. That's all going to lead them in different directions. Some people might stay together if they're lucky, but again, like people change so much from the graduation of high school to like the end of their college.
Transitioning into adult life is definitely something that changes you.
Yeah, it's traumatic.
I mean, yeah. You say traumatic or
Dramatic.
Okay. No, you're right. But
I was gonna agree with traumatic.
Both.
Hey.
thinking about because I knew who you were in high school. We weren't friends or anything. If someone were to tell me that you were gonna become one of my best friends, and I was looking at you, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Get the fuck out of here!" I'm like, "No." But now it's like, yeah, because people's personality changes so drastically. Like I'm nowhere near the way I was in high school. I was super secluded, reclusive, and you were like out there. And
Wait. Define.
You were known.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like I was like the weirdo. I was like, damn, dude, I didn't know I was a weirdo.
But you were a personality.
I just don't like to say popular because I think popular is a stupid term for people because like in school everyone knows who everyone is. Unless you're like a new student.
Yeah.
So I don't like to say popular. I say like you're out
I talked to a lot of people. Yeah. I wouldn't say I was like part of like the popular group by any means.
Right.
In fact, I didn't want to be. That's what me and my friends like hated.
Yeah.
Just the way like they acted pretentious.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good that you grew apart then. I mean, I don't think we would be here if you were still that way.
Well,
or if you ever were that way, I don't know.
No, I'm saying like I wasn't part of like the popular group by any means. Like I didn't want to be. And there's no such thing anymore. Isn't that like as soon as high school ends, like there's
as adults?
there's no popularity contest.
Yeah,
right? Not even like in college, really.
Yeah, no, not really.
I mean, people say like sorority life or Greek life in general is like popular, but no, there's like mathletes that are
we all got our groups of friends, and like we don't care about each other.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah,
there's no like comparing yourself because you don't see each other.
What do you mean? See each other?
Like if you want to go, everyone's got their own like living space, and then if you want to hang out, you go to each other's living space or like to your own designated hangout. You don't really interact with each other. Like in high school, everyone's clicked up, and you're always like seeing each other and comparing each other, and like you feel like you know your place and shit.
True.
Yeah, college is just different. It's definitely like it prepares you more for like life in general.
Yeah.
Just it's like that perfect middle way, you know. Yeah. I mean, I don't think college is perfect by any means, but
it's definitely better.
Yeah, it's definitely better than high school. You definitely get a taste of freedom.
Well, I think a lot of people like transform themselves from high school to college.
For sure.
It's funny from someone who hasn't went to college and how they hype up high school, or in high school how they hype up college as being like super strict and you don't get a lot of freedom. And hearing you guys talk about, I mean, I do before you guys were talking about it now, but I mean, they always like said that like they'll be on your ass about this, and then
professors don't care what you do.
Yeah, I don't remember them saying that in high school, but yeah, that's definitely the opposite of how it is.
Yeah, if you fail, you fail.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
It's on you. You know, they tell you the first day. Almost every professor I've had is like, I'm not your parent. I'm not going to track you down. I'm not like your high school teachers. I don't really care. And I'm like, damn, okay. It's not that they don't care about us. They don't care. Like, if you don't care about the class, they're not going to care whether you pass or not.
When they're harsh, but like every kid in that class is like, this is awesome, dude. Yeah. I can do whatever I want. But they quickly learn that they can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people go crazy with that freedom. I think that's like, but honestly, I think part of that is on the parent, like the parents, guardians, whoever, on being too strict, possibly in the household while they're in high school, middle school, all those things. They finally get that taste of freedom and they love it. And they just keep, I don't know, going further off the deep end.
Yeah. I think parenting, there's a healthy balance of how strict you can be and how lenient you can be. this is not a subject that I should be talking about because I don't have kids.
I,
But
I was just about to say, I like how okay, we're talking about parenting now. Yeah, we're the best people to talk about this.
Well, yeah, because we have parents.
yeah, I mean, we can have views on it.
No, sure, yeah. You don't have to be something to
Yeah, if
critique
you
it.
give your child freedom, they'll like if you say, "Look, you can drink, but all I ask is you do it safely." A lot of kids are just gonna be like, "Well, then why would I even want to drink at this point? Because
Some
if
people.
it's fine, like, yeah, I mean, obviously there's gonna be, and I think again it goes back to like some experiences, just like childhood experiences in parenting, but um, and it's more complicated because like when you're kids, you're so malleable, and like any experience can mold you a certain way. But if you're too strict on a kid, it's never gonna go well, you know? Like they could become a really good, like successful person, but they'll still be like they'll carry that over, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They'll like mentally.
You know, that brought up like a good point that I think a lot of adults possibly maybe they know but they forget about, or maybe like they don't think about, but it's that your parents could give you whatever, like a like say like trauma, for example, because what I believe is that every parent gives their child like a little bit of trauma, whether it's like 0.001% or whether it's like 100%, you know what I mean? But what I think like adults seem to forget is that they're in control of their life, and that they can like mold that into like something good, or they can let that like affect them for like the rest of their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely people that have had a turnaround that had shitty childhoods, but didn't let that be a reason as to why they are a shitty person or something. Because some people use their childhood trauma as an excuse to be a shitty person.
Yeah, like
but there's also people that turn their life around and become better for it. So I mean, that's definitely the way to go.
yeah, like somebody's like alcoholic father. You have two sons, one's an alcoholic and one never touches alcohol for his entire life.
Right.
Same situation,
Right.
two different decisions. You know?
Yeah. So this leads me to an interesting topic that I always think about. Do you think everyone's born as a blank slate? Or do you think that every experience, like you're born as a blank slate, and every experience that you have throughout childhood forms like early childhood forms who you are? Like from when you're born to 14, 15, or like when you gain like actual like sentience, you know? Do you think you're born as a blank slate, or do you think everyone's kind of born just a little differently, you're wired differently, and then obviously experiences impact you, but
Yeah. You answer that first.
but like when you become a certain person, like there's a small fraction of you that had never changed from birth.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, I don't have like a deep answer to that, but I was just about to say, I think that's just biologically true that you're born different than people. Like, just because, like, how do I like put this in like a hypothetical scenario? But like you being born to my mom would still be a different person as to me being born to my mom. You know, like we're not genetically, or not genetics, but like I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I can't say that like, but I feel like
I don't
feel
think
like
you have to
there's
get as particular as like who the parent is, or like
I don't think it's genetics. I think it's like luck of the draw whenever you come out of the womb, like that you're not when you're being developed in the womb. I think, right? Isn't that a thing?
What's that?
Like you as a person, you as a fetus being developed in the womb.
Yeah.
You're developing. It's like procedurally generated traits as a person, right?
It's biologically inherited from your mom and dad.
So just genetics then.
But yeah, but I mean, it also matters what your mom intakes during that 9-month period of incubation, like whether it's vegetables or alcohol. I wouldn't say you're born necessarily as like a blank slate, because like I said, there are like some things that are biologically inherited. I mean, just like, especially like physical, in a physical sense, eyes
Right.
and all that. But we're speaking strictly on the mind. Also, I would say like it depends on what your mom did during those 9 months and all that shit. But
it could come down to that.
no, but also I think a lot of what is formed happens between the age of 0 and 6 years old. I think you develop
Yeah.
a lot of core memories.
Sure.
And then science has brought it back to like 0 to 2, 2 to 4, and 4 to 6. And you develop like different things, even 6 to 8. There's like different stages. And like people talk about like the terrible twos and stuff like that. And it all makes sense to me now after reading like different books about like childhood development. And not to get like too far into that, but it just talks about, like I said, different stages. There's like 4 main stages. And also don't want to get into that because
You know, it's weird that like that has such an impact on us when we don't even like remember
the core memories.
We don't have any of those memories, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're so like subconscious.
Mhm.
And maybe that's why like there's some things that you just can't change about yourself. Like that that's just who you are at your core because you can't confront those memories. You can't like that's just it's carved into your soul. You know what I mean?
I like the way you put that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, you
would
can't-
argue that.
What?
I would argue
Okay,
that.
go ahead.
Just because, well,
Hey, whoa. Go.
Like
Back up.
I obviously
back.
you know that there's some things like this is inherently me.
Mhm.
Like there's just some things about me that's just who I am, you know?
Yeah.
And you can know that, but without knowing the root, it's got to be like nearly impossible
Right.
to fully get that out of you, you know?
I
Your
completely
rebuttal?
agree with that.
What's your rebuttal then?
Yes.
Nearly. I don't think it's
You
impossible.
think okay.
Nearly impossible? Sure. Because I think it's nearly impossible, yes. But
Yeah.
I don't think
Maybe
it's
not
impossible.
in like a healthy way though.
What's
I think it is-
something
it
about
could be.
somebody's personality that you think can't be changed? Like, what would
Oh.
be an example of that? Because, like, I'm thinking, like, say, I don't know, say you're just naturally clean or something, and you could change that, but, like, what's something that, like, you could not change about yourself that was rooted in you when you were young?
Like if you're kind of sheltered as a kid, as a child, I would say you're probably gonna be more introverted.
naturally more introverted for sure.
I think so. Something in my personal experience, and I'm the youngest of 3 siblings, sorry. And we're all pretty introverted. And what my sister and I talked about, without getting into specifics, was my dad owns a business, and he has employees that are often coming into our house, leaving our house, and there's just people coming in, customers coming up to our door and stuff. So we actually kind of like thought about this recently, that we were saying the reason that we might be so secluded and kind of like not as close knit, not as like talkative to each other and also to just people in general is because we're so used to having our privacy kind of like not invaded, but like being, you know, like people walking near doors kind of like, all right, well, wait till they leave before I do anything else, or just go to my room, or, you know, just get out of their way or something like that. So that's where I personally think my introvert nature comes from. But I mean, yeah, being sheltered is for sure something, but it doesn't have to be, because I was in activities and stuff. I was out there, but I still had that growing up. So I think that's what caused it for me.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense. And that takes like a lot of insight to see that.
Is something that I found as an adult, not something that I knew
Of course,
growing
yeah.
up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that takes work. It does.
I mean, it doesn't change anything. It was just kind of like, it was interesting looking back and like understanding why it was.
Well, honestly, if you're talking about change like we just were, that's the first step, is figuring out why.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure to be honest, it's probably not the only thing.
No, but somebody invading like your personal space, like that should be like what people call like a safe space. And
Right.
if you have like random people and you're like, oh shit, like, because I've had family members come over and I'm like, oh shit, I'll do that when they leave. If you have that all the time, but it's like random people, can't imagine.
Well, not really. I mean, we definitely know the people, but yeah, I know
Still,
what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
People that were not comfortable. Like, I'm not
Right.
gonna like walk around with my fucking shirt off and stuff.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I do nowadays. But because like these are also people that I've worked with my dad before.
It's
So
fucking ripped.
thanks, man. But no, I've worked with my dad before, so I know these people, so I'm more comfortable. So I'm gonna like fuck it, whatever. Like it's like they're seeing me in my swimsuit or some shit. Who cares? But
Right.
like
You're
but
in your
like-
own house, right?
as a kid growing up, it's completely different.
Of course.
Yeah, but for you, for example, I think we talked about this on the lost episode, the pre-episode of our podcast.
That was pretty good, actually.
Was because we were talking about all of our personal experiences. I don't think I talked about mine, but we did talk about yours.
Yes.
And we talked about yours as well. But I think we should reiterate it was because you're complete opposite of us. But you're growing up, you were put in front of the stage all the time. You were always put in the spotlight, and that's why you're so comfortable talking out loud to people and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was always put on like a pedestal in front of everybody. Yeah, like a little dancing monkey.
Was that just you, or was that all? Because you're a sibling of.
Oh, I have 4 older siblings. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that just you?
That was on stage and stuff.
Yeah, like always put in the spotlight and stuff.
Yeah. All 4 of my siblings, are very different, from me and from each other.
And that's
totally different, really.
Completely different, like raising up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So they're my half siblings. So, they don't.
I'm not saying for you to like elaborate on like how each of them was raised, but yeah. I mean, like, yeah, because you probably grew up a lot different than they did, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just based on the fact that I was born with 4 siblings and they were born with maybe 1. Yeah.
I mean, that's
different.
Fucking
That's a major factor.
My oldest brother is way different than I am.
Right.
Youngest versus oldest versus middle.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Even having like more siblings, that's a big
changes
factor.
the person.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're a sibling. You have one sibling. That's
one
it.
sibling. Yeah.
And you're also the oldest. So this is completely different. I mean, different parents, different siblings and stuff.
Yeah. Obviously, your parents like to show off their kids.
Right.
So mine didn't. I mean, they weren't like putting me on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they hated me.
Well, it wasn't even my parents doing it. It was my siblings. And they'll attest to this.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Well, then that's
what my siblings did too. Yeah, my siblings loved showing off their little brother. They'd make me swear in front of people. They thought it was hilarious because I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
That's awesome.
I remember whenever I played Tony Hawk's Underground, there was this line game. Whenever you would break your board, he'd be like, "I hate this board, damn!" And like as a kid, I didn't know what damn meant, so I was just like, "I hate this board, damn!" And then my brother's like, "Oh, don't say that." He's like, and then he like take me over his friends. He'd be like, "Say that line." I'll be like, "I hate this board, damn." They'd be like, "Oh, yo, little kid swearing." So like,
that's awesome.
I think being the youngest sibling has a completely different take. Then again, that's a youngest sibling of 4. I mean, we both had pretty like a lot of siblings. You're not going to be telling your younger sibling to like. You're not going to be like telling your. I mean, well, you also had different growing up. So.
Yeah, I mean, we were also a year apart, so
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as funny. Yeah, my brothers
we're
were
also
6 years
like
older.
friends, But yeah, I don't think I was ever like put in a position when I was a lot younger where I was like forced to be the center of attention. Yeah, not having like older siblings and stuff, but so yeah, that probably had a big effect on me.
A big effect on people would also be just because we were talking about like older siblings and stuff. Like my brother had it a lot different than I did growing up. A lot more rules, a lot more. It was a lot more strict on him because my parents were learning the ropes. They were learning how to deal with a kid, like what they should be preventing him from doing. I have a lot less boundaries, which I don't take for granted. I have a lot less boundaries than my older brother did growing up at my age. So, and that changed who I am because if my brother was caught doing the things that I've been doing, not that I've been doing anything bad, but like just things that
your parents don't necessarily
agree with, or do themselves or something. Right. So he would have had a lot bigger punishment than I would. Mine would be like a slap on the wrist. And that changes who I am because if I were to get punished for the things that I'm doing that make me happy or like just going out with friends, just like for example, just like times where I want to like hang out with you or Jake or then we stay up and we drink or something and I'm just like I'm too drunk to go home, I'll just crash here or something like that. They don't like to hear that, but they're not going to be like you're a waste of space or some shit like that. Like my oldest brother's punishment would have been a lot worse, and it was. He's had times like that, whereas I just get kind of like, all right, just be careful, and I think that makes me a better person because of that. Because I don't have that like. Because I think I'd be a lot more secluded. I'd hide stuff a lot more.
Right. I mean, if they were constantly on your case, I think you'd be even more compelled to rebel. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just what like
especially being older
brings it back to what you were saying.
Yeah.
About
there's like literally nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean not just that, but like just what you were saying about.
But
like,
yeah, anything.
Like here, if you're gonna do this, do it safely.
Yeah.
Be responsible about it. That's so much better than saying like don't do this.
Right.
And honestly, I grew up with don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I didn't do it. I was one of those kids who didn't do it. Like I was told don't do this. Don't do this. It's fucked. You're a bad person if you do it. And I was like, okay, got it. Didn't do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't drink until I was 21. I mean, I had a sip of a beer from the fridge, and I was like, this is fucking disgusting. But I didn't drink until I was 21. I turned 21, and I was like, well, okay, not 21, but like close enough. I didn't drink until I was like that age.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, my parents weren't like super strict, but like, you know, when you're young, you're just like, you're told, you know, don't drink when you're, you know, underage.
Right.
So yeah, like going through high school, I didn't think I would ever drink, but when I was 18, I kind of like was like, yeah, well, what am I holding out for? Like, what's the point? You know?
Yeah.
I was drinking pretty consistently since like the age of 14.
Yeah. Well, that's different from us.
Yeah.
Hey man, you're the better for it.
You know, everyone's different.
Better for it.
Yeah.
I think I got an earlier start.
Because you're you.
It's true.
And you're the best version of you that I know.
Wow. Sorry, I cried real quick.
It's just a 1 second cry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm done now.
Crying. Yeah, no, I think I got my experiences over in that regard early, so I'm happy about that because I'm one of the most like, yeah, I fucking joke around a lot about stupid shit and like all this stuff, but I think I'm one of like the most mature people that I know of at my own age.
Having a random sense of humor does not make you an immature person.
Right.
Yeah.
And it also goes past like being mature doesn't mean you've been through it, like you've drank a lot and stuff. It just means you're more like intrinsically you think more about life, you know.
Oh, for sure.
Whenever we all first met, I mean, Jake and I feel like we're polar opposites, and you guys both told me that I was like the most mature of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Was just because of like me being responsible, but I don't think. I mean, looking back at it, I don't think that's true. I think we're all like mature in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's true.
In different ways.
I was responsible, sure, but that doesn't make me necessarily more mature just because you had different experiences than I did.
Yeah. Well, I think after tonight's podcast, there's a lot more things on a spectrum than I would ever thought.
What do you mean?
Even just maturity, for example. Like you just said it, there's different levels or different spectrum. Like it's like a whole spectrum of maturity.
We live in a world full of color. Nothing is black and white.
Very true.
Just true.
Great.
That's
quote.
a good saying because
George Washington.
I was just about to say I think everything.
Did George Washington say that?
I don't fucking know.
I think pretty much everything can be put on a spectrum.
Like a wavelength.
That's why I don't like. Yes. That's why I don't like.
Subscribe.
I don't like people generalizing, like groups of people. If we're gonna change topics right now, I was gonna talk about, and it's super random, but I don't know what I saw that made me think about it so much. But paparazzi, do you ever think how disgusting those people are?
Yes. I think everyone who watches videos of like people like invading people's privacy is just like
these people are scum.
Like you cannot watch a video of like somebody looking through somebody's house window.
Okay, but not even that. But like
waiting for them to come out of their car or something.
I mean, obviously that's a disgusting like invasion of privacy, and that should not be legal. But I think even like on the street, when someone's trying to walk down the street, and how entitled people or paparazzi feels to like, you owe me answers to everything I'm asking you.
Right.
I think that's like, if I was famous and that happened to me, dude, I don't blame the celebrities that hate or even snap at paparazzi.
Well,
you ever see that sorry.
No, go ahead.
You ever see that video of Tobey
Tobey
Maguire in the car?
No. You guys need to back up. I can't see the car. Okay, back up, guys. You can't see the car. Hey, guys, get the fuck out of the way. I can't see. There are cars there, motherfucker.
Well,
That's what I would
he
be.
famously hates paparazzi.
Would you ever see the Kanye one
yeah,
too?
why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Kanye one's fucking great
What's
too.
that?
yeah.
No,
Hey,
good morning, Kanye. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, it was like
Oh,
dark
yeah, I've
outside.
seen
Yeah,
that.
it was
yeah,
dark.
he's like, hey, good morning, Kanye. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I
It's
do.
4
I haven't
a.m.
seen
funny.
that.
You're in front of my house.
So
don't you
funny.
go, dude?
Yeah, no.
One, they have to have better stuff to do. But dude, I wonder honestly.
don't,
I
because
wonder
they
how
make-
much
they make a
money.
lot of money.
Yeah, I wonder how much money.
That's
but like,
crazy
is
to
it
me.
really worth like fucking like ruining? I don't want to say ruining
And
somebody's
it's so
life.
it's sort of
It's a fucking camera.
Those
That's
people are
the only
vultures,
thing.
dude. You got to be a specific type of person to do that.
You have to be a scummy ass person.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that
you
keeps
do.
them doing it is the money. Because
Yeah.
like if you're like not making a lot out, there's no way you would be like, I'm just gonna stake out this celebrity's house at 4 a.m.
I don't know, man. There's some fucking weirdos out there.
There's definitely people like if imagine a paparazzi not doing it for the money, just like I just want to know.
Well, dude, there's people that fucking do like well
I
for like
I
hot,
guarantee, yeah.
hot girls or something like that. Like
Sure.
people being like, oh, this girl's so hot, like creepy people.
Yeah,
Like
but they would
peeping
get in
Toms and
trouble.
shit.
But
Yeah, they
but
would
if you're
get in
telling it to a
trouble.
magazine, it's fine.
I know, but it's also completely legal to walk down the street and like just like fucking film whatever the fuck you want
Yeah.
on
I-
public.
just
which
like if you
is
type in
weird,
like
but
fucking Ben Affleck, like, and you see just like Google images of him just like walking on the street, like,
Yeah.
with his hands in his pockets, just fucking chilling. Like that's just like that would bother the hell out of me. Just
Yeah,
knowing
dude,
that people,
it's terrible.
no matter where you are, there's gonna be someone.
That's what I'm saying. It should be abolished. in
did
my
you see the
opinion.
new AI that somebody built on fucking Twitter?
What's that?
You post a picture of yourself in public, in this AI, you just post it, and it'll repost a picture of you taken from like a security camera the whole way around the world. So say like you're in Turkey and you take like a picture in like in like the capital of Turkey, and there's any cameras surrounding that, any publicly accessible cameras or like just street cameras, it will put that picture next to your picture and like retweet it to you.
like it'll find you?
Yes, it'll find you at that time, at that place, just from you supplying that picture. So, like, say I were
Dude,
to go to
that's
Pittsburgh
insane.
right now and be like in front of fucking Burger King, and I took a picture in front of Burger King, and I don't even have to have Burger King or anything in like the picture. It could just be like the street window. As long as like there's like a little bit of like a reference, it might even take the reflection off the window, and it'll like find out where you are, and it might be able to find you from like the picture that you send in, because pictures are like encrypted with like certain locations and shit.
Right.
Now you can like encrypt that to be somewhere else, so maybe it wouldn't be able to do that if it was not encrypted. But I think iPhone encrypts all of its photos with like locations or certain things, so it knows
Right.
time and place.
It's not always accurate though.
It
how,
isn't.
How accurate is the AI?
Apparently very accurate. I scrolled
Imagine.
through, and these people were like, what the fuck? Like, they took it, a lot of them were like New York, like more famous cities. So like,
Right.
yeah, that's still fucking weird that like the AI can immediately fucking just post that.
Mm.
Like, there's people in like New York, and it like posted like from like a street cam of the person getting their picture taken. It was like, what the fuck? It was like the
weird,
same
yeah.
time.
That's definitely
That
weird,
is
yeah.
crazy, dude.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that kind of opens your eyes to like the possibility. Like obviously we all knew that
We
like
knew we were being,
AI
like,
was going to be
filmed and shit.
insane,
But
but
yeah,
like
yeah,
that really
that-
like kind of hits you where it's like, dude, you could do anything.
And it was one dude
Or it's
apparently
like-
that built this AI. I think it took a while, but it
Yeah,
was one dude.
that's
Not even like a
insane.
team of people
That
being
is
like, oh
insane.
fuck, how do we do? It was one dude.
Yeah. Wait, dude, when that kind of stuff becomes public, the like internet's going to change so much.
Well, that's public as of now, from my understanding. It's just on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah,
Anyone can use it.
anybody.
So like an influencer can like post a picture of themselves, and then like on Twitter there's like 100 like different security pictures of them.
That would be sweet. I don't
That's
know.
insane,
I know.
dude.
I think right now, yeah, you post the one picture and it'll only give you one picture back.
You know what? That'll
Maybe
be like
if you posted multiple pictures of that same picture, it
Mm.
might throw in different. I'm not sure. I haven't used it yet.
right. That'll
Yeah.
be like the end of like fake influencers that like
Yeah.
Facetune themselves and stuff. Or it's like,
Yeah.
well, I got a picture of you that you
That-
look super ugly,
in
or
this-
like you look
oh,
super fat
dude.
or something like that.
That's very true.
I
didn't
mean,
even think about that
and
aspect.
you have to be in public, obviously, where there's cameras. But
Do you think that would really end somebody's career though? I mean,
maybe not end their career.
like
I'm just saying, like people
Backlash?
would probably
I think-
stray
I
away
feel like-
from it.
I feel like most people know
Yeah.
that like this is definitely edited or
Right.
you know. So I feel like that wouldn't do much. But
Right, but if people are constantly peeking behind the curtain, I think that would dissuade someone from, or maybe just like
no, you're right. Yeah.
maybe it'll just make it more commonplace and people won't actually care. And like the damage that it does to people, like kids, where they see like fake, or just like, well, I can see all these pictures of you on like security cameras where like you actually don't look like this.
Yeah.
So nobody looks like this. So I'm not like
Might be good.
as ugly as I think I am.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe that's a positive light, but
See, there's a lot of people that I know that justify like editing their pictures because I'm like, oh, did like you edit that? They're like, no, that's not editing. That's like I used like this filter and then did this, and I'm like, you did all this stuff to your picture, right? And they're like, yeah. I was like, then you edited your picture. They're like, no. I'm like, what? Then what did you do? They're like, oh, it's just filter.
I think,
But like it's a filter and like a little bit of editing and all this shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you like? That's
I think there's like different like perspectives on editing because of like if you say a photo is edited, people immediately assume that you think that their face is edited, that they're made prettier or something. There's definitely like edited photos, like putting a filter. I don't think changes the photo that much. It just makes it more appealing. But it's not like
yeah, it's like color grading.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But it's editing. You're right.
Yeah.
But like I think people might be thinking in that way though, that they think
That's
that they're
fair.
being fake or something.
Yeah.
Sure. But I think there still are a lot of celebrities, especially that like deny that shit, and they'll like post it on their Instagram, you know, like makeup done by professionals, nutrition and eating plans and workout plans done by professionals, and they look fucking great. I mean, fucking Botox, fucking
Right.
plastic surgery, and they look, a lot of them. Well, shouldn't say a lot of them. Some look like really good.
Yeah.
Then they post that shit. I'm sure it can't be good on like a lot of people's mental that don't think about all the shit that goes into that. They're like, why don't I look this way?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would
100%.
assume. I mean, I guess I just assume like, yeah, they're beautiful because they're a celebrity, or they're a celebrity because they're beautiful, you know. But yeah, I would assume a lot of people are like, well, I'll never be that because I'm not as beautiful as that, you know. But also, like, if you're on a red carpet and like all those people taking pictures of you, like, you see those pictures, those are a lot of times just like straight up airbrushed, like to have like perfect skin. They probably don't go as far as like morphing your body and stuff, but
You're
yeah,
talking
even
about
that stuff.
morphing in pictures or morphing the person, like putting like clay underneath like their dress or some shit. Is that what you're talking
What?
about?
No,
like legitimately like.
no, like in pictures, like actually.
Like, what are you
like,
talking about?
Yeah, like
No,
prosthetics.
no. Yeah, like I guarantee you it happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably happened where like women are stuffing or something, or even men stuffing.
True.
But
If I was on the red carpet, I'd definitely wear like a 16-inch strap on in my pants.
yeah, you would actually,
No,
That would be like you would do
as a
it.
joke.
Yeah, it would be a joke though. It'd be like obviously a joke.
I'm surprised no one
No.
has done that.
Well, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be a strap on.
It'd be a joke to
obviously,
you,
if
but
I get famous.
you wouldn't acknowledge it ever. Like,
That's what would make it good.
like
Yeah.
it'd be like
Yeah.
every time, like, oh, he's such a jokester, and then like 10 years later, it's like, is he joking? Or-
See, joke. 10 years of me doing this shit. Oh my god, long-standing jokes.
I don't know. This is just a me thing. I just think people when they're in a relaxed state is a lot more attractive than people dressed up. I'm also a super casual person that just prefers that lifestyle. I'm not a super fashionable person. I wear a t-shirt and jeans and shorts or whatever, like pretty much every day of my life. So that's just my personal attraction towards people is if I see them at like wearing casual like home clothes, like looking comfy.
So like a
Personal.
Jeffrey Dahmer state?
Right. He's a really good looking guy.
No. I mean like because like he liked people like really relaxed because he used to use like sleeping pills on his victims.
Yeah.
So that
I don't know if
kind
it
of
was that he wanted them being relaxed. I think he just wanted total control over them. And
Exactly.
he didn't want them to do
No,
anything that he didn't like.
I can't even add anything. I know nothing
Don't
about
know
Jeffrey
anything
Dahmer.
about him. Did you watch
I
the
agree.
documentary?
I just know
Yes.
that there's something
I
recently that
watched the
came
whole
out.
thing.
No, I
What?
didn't finish it.
Is there something recently that
finish it
came
either.
out?
Yes,
Yeah, actually,
number one
With
on
the
Netflix.
guy
I
that
mean,
plays
it's actually really good.
Quicksilver?
Yeah. Evan Peters.
Evan
Yeah,
Peters.
he was really good in it, and yeah, must be
What are you?
related.
My cousin, dude.
Wow.
Not really.
Oh,
He has
is
my
it your
same
last
last-
name? Holy fuck! I
knew
did
you
not
weren't-
get that.
I knew you weren't gonna get that.
Holy.
I thought you were just playing into a bit or
No,
something.
dude.
I
just-
knew.
No,
you
I just
knew
did
he
not.
wasn't.
Right.
I knew he forgot.
Right over, dude. Wow.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, it was like sitting over there.
I always thought I had a very like if I ever became famous, I would change my last name because it's not a very appealing name. But then there's Evan Peters, so
Yeah. who
hey,
cares?
he's out there. But I'd probably change it though. Still,
I think John Peters is simple enough that no one would really.
cares.
Yeah, no one would bat an eye.
That
I mean-
nobody cared. Yeah.
But yeah,
No, I know. That's why I would
his name
change
is
it.
John Peters. Ugh.
Is he
No,
related to
it's-
Evan?
Everyone unfollow him.
No. Oh.
It's not about that. It's about it being like something that stands out. Like it's not something that I'm saying is disgusting. I'm saying it's just like if I was a celebrity. I'm not saying if I was like popular. I'm saying if I was a celebrity.
Yeah.
I'd want a different last name. But like if I don't think it's like someone's gonna be like Peters. What?
Yeah. I mean, I think
I didn't even
your
think
work
of-
can
would
stand
never
for
thought about
itself.
that. Yeah,
I don't think
exactly.
your name needs to like catch someone's attention.
I don't know. I've always been the type of person that if I ever became famous, I've always wanted to be known by my name.
I've never looked at somebody's name as any indication of what they do.
I mean this in a well, because I always wanted to be a director when I was a kid, a director of whether it was movies or like a game or something. And Quentin Tarantino,
Yeah.
really popular by his name. People know what he looks like. I mean, he's fucking famous. Of course, people know what he looks like, but I feel like more people know his name. Same
Yeah,
with
but
James
if-
Cameron. Do you know what James Cameron looks like? I don't know what James
White
Cameron looks
hair.
like.
Quentin Tarantino. That is a fucking sweet name.
Yeah, he's
That's
got
what
a
I mean.
That's a
very-
sweet
He has
name.
a memorable
That's what-
name, but
And like you see that shit. You're watching Hateful Eight, and that shit slaps right on the screen. You're like, fucking Quentin Tarantino. Now
He's
he has-
also a great director.
now
Yeah.
he has the stigma that he likes feet. So
That's
like,
what I'm
you're
saying.
like, I'm
If-
about to see some feet.
if Quentin Tarantino's
Yeah.
name was John Peters, I think he'd be just as famous.
I disagree. You know why? The director of Superman, his name was John Peters.
Really?
You didn't know that, though.
Holy.
I don't think Superman was an outstanding movie.
True. Okay. No, you're right.
And did he
But it was
direct anything
iconic.
else?
The old Superman
It's true.
movies.
Yeah, it is iconic.
I guess.
could-
Direct. Do you
agree.
know who the director of Harry Potter was?
Or
John
At
Peters.
least one of them.
John Peters.
No.
Chris Columbus.
Fuck. Oh
Okay.
shit.
You don't remember that because it's so fucking like it's just there's already a Chris Columbus.
Yeah, he sailed the ocean blue.
Right in
I
1492.
mean, that's a pretty memorable name though, just by that.
Yeah.
That
That's
you're
why
named
I
after the
remember it.
founder of
It's also
America.
probably, you probably just never heard that to be.
But dude, if you're,
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
I will say, if you're good enough, they will remember your name,
That's what I'm saying.
no matter what
dude.
the fuck
it doesn't
it is.
matter.
It depends on what you do.
True,
But
but
if it's good enough,
Dude, I'm sure you'll find directors out there with the craziest names, and you won't know anything about them because they direct shitty movies.
I just think it's just too common of a name. Like I think like some of the best name like Quentin Tarantino. I know people named Quentin. I can't lie, but like Tarantino, it's just unique. Tilda Swinton, like just these names that are just like
you're probably right. You're probably onto something, because that probably is why people have like nicknames, and that's like in like certain industries, and that's why they change like their names.
Bruno Mars's real name is
Yeah.
Peter Gene Hernandez.
Right, like singers
Right.
and rappers.
He could have the same exact songs. Peter Gene Hernandez does not roll off the tongue.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
an
very true.
artist like him, that's also a lot different because it's all about image and branding.
But he's
Well,
got
I'm not saying I would be
kinda
any
what he's talking
specific
about,
thing. I'm
though.
not saying I would be
Yeah.
an artist or a director or anything. I'm
Yeah.
just saying like I think just the name.
Yeah, I guess
Definitely
it depends on
improves.
what you do.
Especially if you're doing something that is where you are known by your work and
Yeah.
not about your face. Like a director doesn't show his face a lot. Like
Yeah.
like Peter Jackson, it has cameos in his movies, but he's more known by his work than his face. So, but a lot of people know what he looks like because he has those cameos. But his name is recognizable. Like when you think Peter Jackson, you think Lord of the Rings or whatever else. And Quentin Tarantino, whenever you think about him, you think about the fucking that style of movie that he makes, that
Mhm.
gritty, realistic. Like it's just it's cool. It's cool
Yeah,
to
I
know
like his
somebody's
movies.
name, like
Yeah.
and be so iconic, and also sounding good too. Then again, Peter Jackson, both very common names. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's plenty of famous people that have very simple names that they're on top of the world, you know.
Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah. On top of the world, baby.